So it's been 1 or 2 days now with the turtles and the fish. I'm still recording this on my phone, by the way. Maybe if quite a few people end up watching these videos, I'll buy a decent camera for them. But the tank is starting to really clear up, even if it might be a bit difficult to see from the video. The fish are still recovering from the trauma of setting up the tank that I covered in the last video. Even after I put the fish into the tank and they were all swimming around all jolly, I still had a few deaths. About 2 fish on separate occasions rose to the top and signed out. One of them had been swimming really weirdly. He was on his side and jerking and twitching. It looked like someone already dead whose reflexes are still kicking. I think he might have had brain damage from the lack of oxygen from the move. There was another death, a bizarre, perhaps even sinister one, because we found half a fish, just the tail end, floating around the tank. It looks like it was one of the catfish. It was really creepy. I think one of the turtles must have had a bite from him, but what I'm wondering is whether it had already died during the move and the body was stuck at the bottom under a piece of wood or something, or somehow while everyone was swimming around one of the turtles managed to and get it. I hope it's not the latter, because that'll make me live in constant fear for the life of the fish. It probably was the big one. He struts around like he owns the place now. Although I wouldn't put it past the smaller one. He might be shy and introverted, but I think I've seen him give a cheeky chase to some of the fish at night time. Hopefully over the next few days, everyone in the tank gets used to each other. We've named them, by the way. The little one is called Silver. I just think it suited it. It's a nice, sweet little name. The big one I've called Razor, which I think suits its confident, forward personality. I've been feeding the guys as well. It's been really fun. Sparing feeds for the fish about once or twice every 2 days, which seems to suit them, and there always seems to be food left over. One of the classic fears of fish owners is not feeding the fish enough, and then one day you walk in and they're all dead. But on the contrary, it turns out a far bigger problem, one that I am currently doing as well, is overfeeding. I've got a variety of different foods, a lot of them tailored specifically for the kind of fish I've got. There's a little tub of chili that you get from fried food places that I use to put a bit of different types of food in and then throw it in an open area of the tank. It's really nice watching the fish all feasting like barbarians at a banquet. Go on, have at her! Razor has taken no time at all to adjust to his environment. Or her. I still don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But I suspect it might be a girl. I don't know why, I just have a feeling. But anyway, I think he or she has warmed up to me. When I first got him, he would duck his head whenever I would peek over the top of the tank, and now I take him out and he lets me stroke his head and he even eats from my hand, which is a wonderful experience that never gets old. Now he's come to expect it when I come close to the tank, and he often swims up to the top and sticks his head out expectantly. Silver, on the other hand, Silver is another story, the complete opposite of Razor. Maybe just once or twice I've squeezed a fleeting glance out of him, a little sniff when I put one of the turtle treats in front of his nose. But he never eats. Most of the time the mere sight of me approaching with food sends him scampering. I have seen him eat, nibbling at stuff on the tank's floor and bits and pieces floating around. If it wasn't for that, I would actually be scared that he was malnourishing himself. Occasionally everyone in the tank comes out and eats at the same time, which is a glorious sight. So relaxing. Some of the fish are starting to school as well. I do feel for this little tetra I've got, this little rainbow coloured one. Really good looking fella, but all the rest died when we were bringing them over, so he's all alone now. I've been advised by my turtle and fish guy to avoid buying any more tetras until all the fish are settled for a couple of weeks. I have this half of a coconut thing that there is for the fish to take shelter in, somewhere where they can avoid the passing claws of a Razor. No one was really using it too much, and meanwhile I didn't see Silver for a long time. And imagine my surprise when I lifted the coconut and who was in there but Silver. I think it shocked him as much as it did me when I lifted it and found him in there. I didn't know he could fit in there, but he's pretty much commandeered it, and now it's become his usual hangout now. What with all the feeding, there's a lot of fish shit flying around now, and the filter's got its work cut out keeping the water clean. Thanks for watching.